Republican chairwoman just issued a blatant threat to her own party on Trump's behalf. There's been much debate within Republican intellectual circles, such as they are, about whether or not the GOP has changed since 2016, and to what degree. All parties take on the personalities of the people leading them, especially when the leader is sitting in White House. But President Trump has forced the GOP into an identity crisis the likes of which either of the major parties has ever experienced. For decades now, the party has claimed to stand for the principles of low taxes and limited government constrained by the separation of powers, a strong military that defends American interests abroad, and basic American values like faith, family, and the Second Amendment. They are conservatives, you see, just common folks who cherish the rule of law, defend Western values on the international stage, and promote free markets and global trade around the world. But for the last 2 years, they've had to grapple with the fact the man they elected to the White House embodies almost none of those things. The thrice-married, draft-dodging, veteran-assaulting adulterer has spent his presidency waging war on the rule of law, dismantling global institutions, and surrendering America's role as an international arbiter overseas. And yet, the base of the Republican Party loves him for it. His polling, while still quite low by recent presidential standards, is as high as it's been during his presidency. He seems to have concluded that, as long as he continues to please this core percentage of the party with anti-immigration and anti-globalization red meat, he can pressure enough of the more principled, traditional Republicans who are uneasy or even angry at what he's done to their party to support him. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's exposed the split between what the party elite claim to stand for, and what the angry, xenophobic, homophobic base really wants. More crucially, he's been able to insert himself between the two factions, where he now sits like the lone nut holding it all together. This in turn has given him tremendous leverage over GOP leadership, who may not like the direction he's taken the party, but fear what he could do were he ever to decide to turn the base against them. He could take his roughly 33% of the electorate and form his own party, were he ever to conclude that that was his best chance at re-election. While it may win him a second term, it would destroy the Republican Party for a generation or more. Observers both inside and outside the GOP have argued for some time that the Republican Party is already dead. At the very least, it's no longer the party of conservatives, but the party of Trump, they insist. After a tweet late Wednesday by Republican Party chairwoman Ronna Romney McDaniel, it appears the argument is over. Complacency is our enemy, McDaniel wrote. Anyone that does not embrace the at-real Donald Trump agenda of making America great again will be making a mistake. That threat is actually a complete capitulation on behalf of the GOP establishment, and it marks the end of the grand old party as we know it. The Republican Party is now the party of Trump, come what may.